There's been a grisly death in West Sussex. A man traumatically killed and buried on the South Downs above Shoreham. But don't be alarmed, as it happened 1,000 years ago. The skeleton of the victim was discovered during digging work for a cable carrying electricity from the new Rampion wind farm just off the Sussex coast. Well, Sean Killick is near that location for us tonight. Sean.
Well, Sally, it's taken the construction of a 21st century wind turbine farm out at sea to unearth a 1,000-year-old murder mystery beneath the South Downs. The cable for the wind farm was laid across farmland here for many miles, and during the digging they found this, a perfectly preserved skeleton. It was almost completely intact, a man in his 20s or 30s. He led a very physical life. There was no evidence of a coffin, but they did discover a gruesome clue about his death.
The sixth vertebrae there, which is in the neck, when our bone expert was looking at it, has found a cut mark. And that cut mark hasn't healed, so it would have been proved fatal. So unfortunately, we think that our friend here met his end by having his throat cut. Our theory is the moment that this may well be an execution burial. So he's obviously done something wrong, fairly serious, and met his end that way.
Well, there were actually concerns that this could indeed actually be a modern day murder scene. That's because the body was in chalk, and that meant that it was very well preserved, so much so that they thought that perhaps it had only lain there for just a few years.
When we first found it, when it was first uncovered, we were a little bit concerned because the bone is in such good condition and it's out on its own, not part of a cemetery, that we thought this might be a recent murder victim. So obviously that's a bit of a worry. But we had a piece of it radiocarbon dated very, very quickly, and that came back as about 1,000 years old. So that's sort of late Saxon period, few decades before the Battle of Hastings.
Well, further tests will now be carried out to try to establish whether this man was local or whether he came from further afield as a migrant or an invader. And after that, he'll be returned to the ground in a Christian burial. Sally.
Sean, thanks very much.